In the daytime, I'm Marinette, just a normal girl with a normal life. But there's something about me people don't know. I have a sports career. Oh, wait, hold on. That's not what MLB stands for? Oh, I misunderstood the assignment. Roll the usual intro. And that was my alternative universe where instead of superheroes, MLB was all about Major League Baseball, as was described by the chat. Speaking of the chat, a lot of people are here for this. I mean, everyone's just anxious to get back into some more miraculous adjacent content, and also it's been a couple of days, and also I was saying more so because of the fact that Emily was one of the previous streams that you lot would have watched. But no, I am back for right now, and actually, to be perfectly honest, I just found out when exactly. I always knew that there was going to be a few family guests, vlog members that are going to come and join us for a little bit of the time while we're here. I just didn't know when exactly that was going to happen. I now realize that it's in 10 days, roughly, which means that probably, even though I have content that I'm working on to pass the time between streams, I should probably do more of these in the early weeks than in the later, or in the middle week, I suppose. So, you know, because of the layout of here, no matter where I am, it's going to be disturbing somebody while doing these. Unless I go in the basement, actually. Might go in the basement. We'll see. I haven't tested out the sound echoing in there. But oh well, I was nearly end up, basement dwelling at least once in my YouTube career, so might as well be now. But no, I'm actually in the bedroom for right now, so yeah, we're okay, and we're back with some more Pops content. Yes, I know it's been very Pops heavy recently, but it seems that Jonny is on a roll. Not only has he actually provided us with the second half of the crossover that was missing, but also with some new things for the revival series and stuff that have been waiting for quite some time. Let me just bring up the chat for a second here. Okay, so not the chat, I mean the description. The girls are watching Strikeback, the season 4 finale of Miraculous, when they discover something that breaks Amy's heart, and notes the community tab. And Josh, of course, as usual, has kindly sent me the very same notes. So here's what we have. Notes before watching the Strikeback Sadness remake. The first thing is finally going to fix the whole too young to have kids problem we had at the now forgotten Childhood Memories episode. For those of you who've watched this channel, it will not be a forgotten episode because I have the only public copy of that now. But just in case anyone was wondering, the original episode 5 of the Disco Pops revival was called Childhood Memories. It was used to be part of a double bill, then it was uploaded separately because it did not go down well with most people, actually. Actually, that might be a bit of inaccurate to say. I'm not sure how it went down in the actual video, but when we reviewed it, it seemed that we kind of skewed the public opinion to the other side. And one of the things that was a concern was the fact that it seems like the two main couples of the MLB show became teen parents at the exact same time as each other. So, and ignoring the fact that timeline-wise, that's questionable at best. It just was a very unnecessary change, and one of the things that we immediately denounced as soon as it began. And one of the reasons the video then got deleted by Jonny himself. It wasn't one of those YouTube decisions this time. Anyway, back to this. I decided to combine the powers of the Miraculous with the powers of the Energems from Power Rangers Dino Charge, because that's Dino Charge, not Dino Charge, / Supercharge specifically. So specifically the power to stay a certain age as long as you're bonded with the Energem. Why? What is the point of this? I think I mentioned this because Jonny said he was thinking of this idea about like having them to stay a certain age or something, and I was like, well, I mean, okay, that does kind of fix the problem of them being too immature mentally. I don't know why they have to stay the same age physically. The only possible advantage of the main MLB characters staying the same age physically for as long as they are miraculous holders would be that Jonny would not need to redesign any of them to make them aged up. But I question, was it worth making binding them all to a different source of power in order to not have to redesign them? Because like, what? Anyway, so I know this might be weird to say. It is. But I might have them age slowly enough to be able to have kids without the sickness of being pregnant if they were teenagers. Which would have, again, I said this would have been possible without having them age more slowly, because that's just how humans tend to function anyway. I don't know how old I'm making Emily, Mike, and Kevin, though. I'll update you on that. I thought you meant Emily Agrest for a second, but I realized that's spelt wrong, so I'm not sure about who those people are. Anyway, okay, note number 2. You're going to notice Gabriel is not dead in this episode. AKA, you'll see him speak some lines. That's because this blast of the past is set a few weeks after the events of the actual episode of Miraculous. Hold on, wait a second. God, this is a mindful. So, okay, so the girls are watching Strikeback, okay? Oh, okay, now I. Oh no. Okay, so now my understanding, bear in mind we haven't watched a single frame of this episode yet, is that the events of the Strikeback season 4 episode literally just happened, and they've already been converted into the animated series that we're all aware of, and they're now airing on television a few weeks after the event itself. But that would potentially explain why they would need to age slowly, because I guess Jonny was thinking, okay, well, I want to build upon some ideas that were happened in this season 4 episode, but I don't want a time skip. Is that the understanding? I mean, already I will say in the Strikeback episode, Gabriel is sending Adrian away even if he didn't age properly. First of all, Felix would have, so that they wouldn't look similar anymore. Secondly, he would legally be an adult at that point, so why would he still be sent away while Gabriel enacts his plan during that time? So already we're presenting bigger issues if it's only a few weeks later, but they happen to all be adults for some reason. And let alone the fact that like every miraculous holder is a temporary holder apart from Rena. So that would mean that everyone else would have been aging differently, which would have meant that Nino and Alia would also be aging physically at different rates, as would everyone else who appeared to be completely normal in this version of the episode. Like, I thought to myself, hey, you know what? I'll rewatch Strikeback to remind myself of what's been going on before watching this episode. Clearly, I either made a huge mistake, or that was the single best piece of preparation that I could possibly have done, because I didn't remember the exact logistics. I remember the ending of Strikeback, but not everything that led up to it. Anyway, let's continue. By the way, if anyone's typing in the chat, I'm going to read that after I finish reading the description, because otherwise we'll be here all day. Okay. So how are they able to? Oh, so it's the film movie that's now on DVD. Okay. Wait, but the events of the episode they still only just happened, so it's already on DVD. Not only is it as it's happened, but they've like taken it off of television, and it's gone straight to DVD. This cataclysmic event in Paris involving 3 Goliath center monsters destroying everything and being sent into the sun, let alone the fact that, you know, Monarch happens, but whatever. That apparently went either had the shortest run on television ever for a documented event like that actually happened in universe, or it went straight to DVD, which is even worse. And finally, I will try to keep some parts of the episode intact. Some of them, yeah. I wonder what's going to change. Like the scene where Alia actually renounces tricks and some comforting. Right, okay. I did just see that, so yeah. Okay, now I've finished reading that. Let's read the chat. That didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. This is a very weird episode for me. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm tempted to agree, KW. Okay. Also, apparently Bon has become obsessed with the sillies from Starkid, so that's that's good to know. Yeah, that's all. Help us out on the Butter Bunch in a few days. Yep, 15 hours of content. Yep. Highest because didn't totally watch 200 plus hours or something. Hey, look, we've all done that. I have no words. I am lost without your streams. Cause I am lost without you. That song's not from Hatchetfield, so you might not have heard it yet. Never mind. I'm going live hopefully after the stream ends. Okay, well, I hope to not delay it, but this feels like it's going to be a long one, just because we're here and already still reading the description, and already it's I don't know. Anyway, Also, by the way, in case anyone's wondering about this, it's because Disney Channel has a new, at least over here in Spain, a new episode. There's like a special one-off episode of MLB that's happening on Saturday, and I asked people to remind me about that. So yeah. Okay. Okay, what is the sickness of being? Oh, the sickness of being pregnant. That's not the full sentence. The sickness of being pregnant as a teen is what Jonny meant in this context. So, you know, the idea of like, you know, both sets of them becoming teen parents, that is the sickness in this context. Like, yes, it happens in the real world, but A, it's out of character for all of the people involved, and B, it's sort of actually that's the only thing that's out of character, and it just does not match them particularly or the vibe of the show. You could seriously just kill them and bring them back as ghosts again. Or don't set this a few weeks after Strikeback, set it a few years after Strikeback, and fix everything. Why is it so hard to just have them age up, then have kids, then continue to get older, be like, I don't know, in their like 30s or something, and therefore the kids would be teens? What is the problem with that? Like, is it because like they'd be harder to write for or something, or is the idea that like they could only be superheroes in their teen years? Because most miraculous holders across history, we know this from the show, weren't teens when they held the miraculous before. This group is the exception, so they could continue for as long as they wanted. Why is that such a problem? Come on, Joan of Arc was a miraculous holder, for crying out loud. Anyway, I need help. I dedicated 15 hours of my week to hatch a field lore. Yeah, I don't think I can help you with that one. Apart from the fact that I spread it across a few months, but at the same time, you might not get you might not get the the breather that you want from this. Oh, Tree Pop's saying he has a storyline for something. Oh, right. Okay, you're saying for your live stream, if you use someone to talk to you about a storyline for something. Okay. I don't know if that's gonna be me because I did promise to not stream for too long. That probably includes being on call with people, but we'll see. Depends if I get guests today, then I might send them your way after this, but we'll have to find out. Ultimate Spirits is here as well. I come in peace. Yeah, we welcome strangers here. Absolutely. Amigo and amigo. Amigo, indeed. Okay. And yes, they're watching their own episode. Kind of like Super Pops themselves. The Totally TV series exists, but I think it's more of a case that the Super Pops themselves, they play themselves in the series, or, it's just about them. So it's like based on true events. So I don't think anything's filming. I don't think anyone's being filmed in real time. Then again, the Strikeback episode would be the one, but that happens because everyone's taking risks. So that could be a thing. But I don't believe so. I think it's more of a case of recreated events. It could be animated in universe. We don't know. There is a Ladybug and Cat Noir film franchise inside of the Miraculous universe, so I guess that's not out of the question. Fun fact: the director of that, Thomas Astruc, the character from the series, is actually a self-insert of the real-life director Thomas Astruc from real life. Okay, all right. Finally, we have arrived. So let's see. Upcoming chaos like this would motivate me. Well, prepare to get motivated. Without further ado, on with the review. So it's I've never seen that episode before. Hopefully nothing bad happens to Alia. I'm going to assume from the context of this that they haven't watched season 5 yet, because then they would know if something happens to Alia or not, or at the very least something permanent. Yeah. I'm sure she'll be fine, Chen. Marinette will save her. I don't know about Marinette saving her in the Strikeback episode, but someone does. If only that were true, Amy. If only that would... She's... By the way, if anyone hasn't gathered the context from this, there will most definitely be spoilers for the season 4 finale of Miraculous. So if anyone here has not watched that, this is your warning from this point forwards. So the foreshadowing is just forespoiling. Never heard that term before. Forespoiling. It's a spoiler before it becomes a spoiler. Huh? I don't know. I'm going to get our snacks. You okay, Jess? Not really, Jen. I'm worried about Amy since I already know what happens. You watched ahead? How could you? No, I'm kidding. I did the exact same thing. I was supposed to watch all of Miraculous with Maya and a few other people, but we couldn't coordinate that. And at some point, I was like, yeah, I want to actually watch this, and I have Disney Plus now, so Isn't Alia Amy's mother? Yes. So when we say something bad happens, not necessarily saying like, oh, something permanent happens to her, like she dies or something. Obviously not. Amy would not be here if that were the case. But maybe something, as in like, for the actual episode, something bad happens to her, like I don't know, she breaks a leg or something, or I don't know, that kind of thing, something of like substantial consequence, or she like gets discovered or whatever. It can be anything. Which I made up. It's definitely a spoiler of the future. Okay. Aren't all spoilers of the future? Okay, never mind. I'm guessing something bad will happen to Alia. Yeah. Promise you won't tell Amy. What? What? Promise you won't tell Amy. She's about to watch the episode. She's going to find out. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, what happens? Alia's going to renounce Trix. I mean, okay. First of all, that's not something bad that happens to her. That's something that she does because she chooses to do that. That's okay. The reason she chooses to do that is because she has been hidden for a lot of the season. She's kind of like like operating on this side because basically she was about to get discovered by Shadow Moth and people. So Ladybug was like, "Oh well, give me back miraculous, whatever, but secretly don't give it back. You'll be operating from the inside, and you'll be able to create illusions and be invisible, and be my girl in the chair that is not actually in a chair but is on a building most of the time." And what happens is that she gets discovered because it turns out that Carapace, he knows about that already. He happens to magically know where she is, which I'm not really sure about. Why does he know the exact location of her? But I don't know. Whatever. I might have forgotten that detail. And so because of that, Alia says, "Okay, this is getting too risky. I need to be a superhero to be your best friend. Trix, I renounce you." Not in that order, but I'm paraphrasing. That's it, really. So yeah, okay, that's a decently tragic moment because Alia and Trix were, quite close, very much so. But A, Trix is going to go through something far worse in like a mere second. B, the specific phrasing of this makes it sound like this is something that was like brought upon her. And no, Ladybug was actually okay with her staying in that position. She chooses to do this. Be like on a chair, but it's not actually in a chair. It is on a building most of the time. Exactly. It'd be like the worst acronym of all time. The GIACBINA AIOABMOTT. There you go. That's the acronym for you. Official position. These quotes are stacking up. Yeah, they're not being saved anywhere, unfortunately, but they are stacking up for sure. Nothing of a mother and Jess's parents are TV show actors back in the days. If it weren't for the fact that we know the powers are actually real in this universe, then they could have been TV actors, but no, they are the actual people. Anyway. Okay. I'll take your word for it. Dear, oh dear. Okay. Moving on. What? That's going to be really hard for Amy, especially because she hasn't met Trix at all, presumably, if that's the last that she thinks of that. If that had been a permanent decision, then Trix would not be around, and Amy would know that something was up with that. It's like, hey, you know, my mother had this Kwame the whole time. I wonder what happened to it. I mean, come on. What's going to be hard for me? Oh, nothing, Amy. Are you sure? Jess seems really upset about something. Is Jess upset? Maybe she's just worried the episode will be bad. I mean, I can understand that because I mean, season finales, you do, you know, really want them to land. Absolutely, I can 100% agree with that. Counterpoint, it seems that Jess hasn't told Amy that she's already seen the episode, which makes it seem like she did indeed skip ahead. Kindred spirits, I suppose, but also shame on you. Spoiler, the episode will be bad. Oh my goodness. For the record, I did enjoy both parts of Strikeback, particularly. Even if I don't remember the exact logistics of it, because I watched the entire series in one go, and that was probably a bad idea. Yeah, I still loved that. I'm guessing their blonde friend had other plans. Which blonde friend are you talking about here? Anyway. Let's just watch the episode. Oh, hey, it's actually recreated. All right, fair enough. Again, I literally rewatched this right now before going onto this video. Anyway, you shouldn't ever trust me with it again. Too risky, never Shadowmoth knows. You just be here until your friend get up the quotes, but yeah, you know that right. I renounced you. Are my eyes playing tricks on me? Are my eye tricks on you? And no, this is not the Strikeback was not an episode of Disco Pops in the past. It is a two-parter finale of Miraculous season 4. Are my eyes playing tricks on me, or did Mum just renounce tricks? Watermelon. By the way, lady, you are eating a watermelon in your free hand on top of a white couch. You are playing with a dangerous game right now. Just saying. Hey girls, how's Strikeback coming along? Is everything okay, sweetie? Also, yes, as we said before, apparently Alia is now a slow-aging immortal being, and therefore looks the same as she did when she was her daughter's age. Very funny, Mum. Where's Trix hiding? I would normally say this is copium, but actually, technically speaking, Trix is, you know, the Kwame of illusion. So, you know, this kind of a pranker thing, you know, would not be exactly out of his wheelhouse. It's a bit of a stretch, but I can see where she's coming from. But also, like, it's been okay. Apparently, the episode just happened, so it's been weeks. Apparently, it's been weeks, and Trix has not been here. What do you think is the answer, Amy? Good lord. Okay. So, in order to make this happen, in order to make this emotional moment happen, Jonny had to change the timeline so that Strikeback happened weeks after this point, but also years after the original. It was after where it was originally set. Like season 1 and season 3 are actually like 10 years apart or something, maybe. More than that, actually. Though they've got kids. It's like 20 years apart. And so that's the first change. The second change is the fact that I guess Amy has not heard anything that happened with Monarch directly after this episode aired. Like, okay, yeah, there was a bit of a weakish breather when Monarch did nothing, but at the same time, that it was not like out of the question. And like, ah. Oh, great. I'm running out of battery and I only have one charger, and this, my mic has a bit of a low charge, so hopefully this will be. I haven't had to do this in a while. And yeah, the second part was obviously, preserving the characters' ages in the first place. So I had to preserve the characters' ages and change the entire chronology of the series just to have Amy get sad about the character of Trix. Like, of all the things to be sad about in Miraculous, there are plenty of scenes that could affect somebody, whether or not they happened in real time or not. In season 4 alone, the first episode I watched was the one where that really like got me to look at the series in like was like, well, more than just a neutral form, was actually the first episode of season 4, where Marinette has just assumed that the role of guardian, and she is struggling so much to balance herself and the commies, and almost loses like all of her friends in order to keep that particular secret. And she feels like there's no one else that can actually even help her because of all the rules that are in place. She basically becomes more like Spider-Man than she already was. Because, I mean, come on, a superhero that dresses mostly in red swinging about the city, it's a pretty decent comparison. And she hasn't been known to run along walls occasionally. But yeah, I've no complaints about that, because I very much like Spider-Man, and one of the aspects that made him so successful was that balance of his real life. That's why Spectacular Spider-Man particularly is so highly regarded as a show, because it really dives into that. So yeah, that scene alone where she breaks down her bed, I was like, okay, there's a chance people may have misjudged this series. And then I watched a few episodes before and after that, and I was like, okay, I see where they're coming from. But at the time, that was what really got me the most. And that wasn't like a real-time thing necessarily. clearly that, like, Jess here would have known that Marinette would not longer be the guardian of the Miraculous, because, I mean, I don't know, she was never featured in the series. Which, now that I think about that also raises the question, if season 4 of Miraculous is supposed to be like years afterwards in order to like time themselves up, like, everyone still goes to the exact same school, has seemingly the exact same lives, they just had like Arrested Development or something. And like, I don't know. Is it to be bound by their legal guardians particularly? I mean, Luca and Adrian particularly are the ones I can think of where, legal guardianship came into play a number of times. So yeah, another thing that had to be altered for this. You see why this is going to take a while. So no, they did not kill Trix on set, because Trix didn't die. Kwamis don't die when a Miraculous holder renounces them, which is also a giveaway. This probably would not have been the most emotional moments to talk about, because as far as Amy is concerned right now, not knowing what happens immediately after this point in the episode, or, a couple of scenes later to do with the Kwamis, not knowing that right now, all she knows is that, Alia and Trix had to say goodbye to each other. So as far as she's concerned, Trix is back with Ladybug, who she knows as Marinette, because because the episode obviously shows that. So again, so many things to be pulled for this moment. Like, you got to wonder sometimes. I can understand why somebody might think like, okay, if you want this to have an impact on somebody, it might pull some strings. But you've got to ask yourself when you do that kind of thing, is it worth all the strings I would have to pull? Is it worth all of the, consequences to the story or the questions that would arise from it in order to do this? Or should I pick perhaps a different moment in the series? I'm guessing that Jonny himself was very affected by the separation of Alia and Trix because, for crying out loud, he used to be called Wipeout and Rena fan, so it kind of makes sense. So he was affected like that, so he thought, okay, someone else should be. Not really questioning, why it is that he was affected so much and why someone else either would or wouldn't be in this context. So yeah, we're how far are we in this? We're 2 minutes in. Good lord. Okay. Too much dark home videos to them in this context. Well, I mean, kind of. Anyway, I tapped out the second you talked about the episode. I have no idea what you've been talking about for the last 5. Okay, well, hopefully someone did. If Jonny happens to watch this episode, then he will know what I mean and all the questions, and I don't know. This is why I need guests. They'll help balance out and make it seem like I've got fewer mad ramblings to account for. I wish I could say it was a joke, but it's true, honey. I did renounce Trix. So Rena Rouge is no more? Yes, unfortunately. I hate to say this, Amy, but I knew this was going to happen. Betrayal! Again, if I'm remembering correctly, between seasons 4 and 5, there was like a little bit of a breather where Monarch did nothing, so it's possible that she wouldn't have noticed that there was no villains attacking Paris. But also, bear in mind that Rena Rouge still existing in the first place was supposed to be a secret that only Marinette and Nino were aware of. So, potentially, in this context, Amy knew as well, as did Jess. So, and also that the Miraculous TV episode has been airing this weeks after it's happened, which would have meant that people would have known about the twist that Rena Rouge was still active because they would have seen it air on television because it was only a few weeks ago. This is what I mean. When it comes to trying to make emotions land, there's got to be like a moment where it's like, would it just be easier to pick a different moment or to present it in a different way? Like, here's an idea. Say that the seasons take place as they were supposed to. Back in the day, long before Alia would have had any kids and Marinette and etc. And then it just so happens they have the DVDs or they have a rerun because, I mean, I can personally testify Disney Channel is still airing these episodes, so they wouldn't really need them. They have a DVD, they have a subscription to Disney Plus or whatever it is they use to watch this particular episode. Okay? Then Alia is the one sitting down for this, and she remembers the moment that in the past she was forced to renounce Trix because she felt in that moment that she wasn't up to it. It was too risky for her, and she let everyone down by, betraying Marinette's trust in order to not betray Nino's trust. She felt like it was too much, and potentially she regrets that decision now, and she's the one that has the emotional response because it happened to her, and it still probably hurts. In this context, Amy would have either known that Rena Rouge would have still existed, because again, it would be years after, or somebody else would have taken up that mantle. It really depends, but either way, that could have worked. But instead, we had to put this on Amy particularly, even though really what ultimately Jonny is trying to portray here is the tragedy of that moment in someone's past. Bear in mind, this is meant to rectify the origin story at some point, based on the description. So having Alia react emotionally because it's her past that she's going into in this episode, presumably if it's we're going where I think it's going, it really should have been her this time. And potentially, the role of Amy would then be to comfort her mother because, whatever would have happened in between those times would have happened, whether or not she became Rena Rouge again after the whole Monarch ordeal, whether or not, you know, the uh the event in season 5 would have affected anything and they would have carried on. I don't know. Johnny's watched the whole show more times than I have, so he presumably would know far better how to pull that idea off than I would, because I've only watched it once all the way through, give or take a few reruns on TV over here. But it seems not. Anyways, at least we're still a little bit more on track than we were last time. But then again, episode 5 of Disco Corps last time only started to really show its true colors once the origin story truly kicked in. Which now I question, because this is only a few weeks after this. What kind of origin is it? It was only... I don't know. You know what? We're just gonna carry on. We're gonna see where this goes. Told me. Oh wait, so you didn't watch the episode before this? But if your mum told you what happened, then you would have known probably what. Then you know what happened to the miraculous directly after that. Anyway. You didn't want to tell your best friend about it. Why? Because we were going to watch the episode. I didn't want to spoil it for you. Obviously. Oh my god. Because knowing you, if you found out through me, then you'd be heartbroken. Unlike now, where you found out through the television and are also heartbroken. You can see where my logic was, right? What is this episode? I just want to finish the episode. Well, buckle up, Jen. We're going to be here for a while. Also, apparently Jen knew what happened, so presumably Jess told Jen. So here's all the people that found out that that Rena Rouge was still active. Alia told Nino, who presumably told Amy, or perhaps Alia told Amy directly. Amy then then told Jess, and also Jen. I'm starting to think that Alia was right, that she couldn't be trusted. Okay. Unfortunately, what I've heard from Marinette, there's more bad news. Don't tell me Dad isn't Carapace anymore either. So she knew about that as well. No one knows. In a Jonny video, no one knows how to keep a secret identity from anyone, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, Ron told Dean, who then told Parvati that Hagrid's looking for it. Yes, exactly like that. Now I think about it, I don't think there's not an owl miraculous, because the owl is, of course, Mr. Democles, who doesn't really get miraculous. Which, by the way, Mr. Democles should have got a miraculous. This might be a hot take here, because obviously, it's like all of Marinette's classmates and such. But bear in mind, he was already dressing up as a superhero to try to do his part without powers. I feel like if anyone deserves that kind of responsibility, and would also be, the first adults in the team, would actually be Mr. Democles. That would be like a bit of an interesting dynamic, considering that suddenly he's taking orders from Ladybug this time, not knowing it's one of his students. That could be interesting. But actually, you know what? I might save that for an AU of some kind. You know what? I'm going to post that to Maya 2.0. If anyone doesn't know, Maya 2.0 is working on a miraculous AU of her very own right now. I'm gonna save that idea, and after the stream, I am going to go into the Discord chat. I'm going to type out. I'm going to suggest that justice for Damocles, please. Anyway. It's not just your father, sweetie. Gabriel has all of the miraculous. Okay, that's a spoiler. That happens later in the episode, like a couple of scenes later. If she had only waited a few more minutes, you would have seen that play out. Which also means that they would have known that Felix was responsible for it, which was not revealed for... Oh wait, no, it was revealed. Never mind. Except for Marinette and Adrian. Are you saying that my parents are no longer cool superhero parents? Okay, sure, forget the Kwamis who are in danger right now. Focus on the fact your parents aren't as cool as they used to be. That's what's really tragic here. I'm losing sympathy for Amy with every passing word she utters. Amy, Nino and I are still cool parents. You're just saying that to make me feel better, but I'm not. But, okay, sure, make them feel bad about it. Anyway. Oh, apparently her name is Amber. I've never heard of Amy being short for Amber before. I used to know both an Amber and an Amy, fittingly enough, but I don't know. Anyway. Amber Lahib Sazer, where do you think you're going? Is that how French last names work? It's how Spanish last names work, where you get like your father's surname first, and then afterwards it's your mother's. I don't know if that's how I do it in France. I never actually asked about that. Anyway, no, you're not. You're normal parents. I hate my life. In the daytime, I'm Amy, just a normal girl with normal parents, and I hate it. This is the first scene. We are on scene 1. Anyway, to my room to mourn the loss of Jonny, with writing like this, I think you should write emo pops. So help me if this needless drama ruins episode night. Yeah, Jen just like the second that Amy leaves is like, well, she's gone. Click. Okay. I take it a little girl found out that we're no longer superheroes. I was trying to do like a. This is Nino, my live action voice. I forgot. I keep trying to do like a Nino voice, but then I go into Adrian too easily. Funnily enough, Maya said that she thought that I would suit Nino, but then wasn't sure about Adrian. Despite the fact that I do an Adrian impression, and whenever I try to do Nino, it always just diverts into Adrian again. It's like, be cool, dude. I mean, sir. And then then suddenly it becomes just like this, and that's basically my Adrian voice. I don't know. Anyway. Indeed, conejitos. It's drama all round. My mother's living proof that your parents could be cool with us with powers. I love you, Mum. I will also say that I too possess a set of normal non-superhero parents, to my knowledge at least. They're currently meant to be asleep. If I go into their room and they've just disappeared, then I'll know they're superheroes. But I'm not going to. Yeah, she did. Don't worry, Alia. We'll think of a way to cheer her up. Hopefully Gabriel doesn't take advantage of this and akumatizes Amy. Okay, here's another problem about... here's another issue with the with Strikeback only taking place weeks before, because it means the Miraculous TV show by this point has in fact on multiple occasions shown Gabriel transforming into Hawkmoth and Shadowmoth, which means that, of course, if they've watched the series, they know that, but in the series itself, they do not. So, of course, here, Alia refers to Gabriel specifically by his name, even though at this point, no one knows he's Hawkmoth, or Monarch, or Shadowmoth, or whoever he is. Who cares? They don't know is the point. But like every other episode operates on the express knowledge that they are aware of who Gabriel is. In fact, in most other episodes, Gabriel has been dead by this point for several years and has died in like 3 different circumstances, one of which was in episode 5 originally, which now means I am forced to say, against my best judgment, that the original episode 5 of Disco Pop's revival did something better than this version. And that's the episode everyone hates. Okay. In the daytime, I am the mother of a streaming son. I get this. I don't get this because I'm streaming son, just about a mum. Yeah, on occasions before, I have actually had that as an issue where I've like woken up my parents by accident and my brother. In this house, I'm not actually sure because I don't know how this sound travels. But yeah, that's part of the reason that I've moved downstairs now, so that happens less frequently, you know. Ultimately, I take the hit of that because I'm further away from the Wi-Fi receiver, which means that that's where all the connections end up. That's why I lose connections so much in that room. Anyway. If you want, I can call him and see if he can hold off on that. Hey, Gramps, can you do me a favor and not akumatize? Which, actually, you know what? How? Oh, God, wait a minute. It's even worse than I thought. Like, the whole reason that Alia was in danger was because, like, her identity had already pretty much been revealed in the Miraculous series. If, I repeat this, if it's a TV show that airs weeks after an event actually happens in the Miraculous universe, that means that not only do they know who Gabriel is, or who Hawkmoth is, but Hawkmoth or Shadowmoth also knows who all of they are. And part of the point of season 4 was him trying to figure out who they all were. And use that to his advantage. Plus, we got an entire episode one time where he finds out that his son is Cat Noir and uses that against him. That was where the Cat Blanc episode came from, the most viewed episode of the series. And the one was referenced briefly in a freeze frame in Strikeback. There's no way that could have been missed. Petition with fans and hosts have a scream stream to build up anger from reviews like this. Like Jacobs and Danny have a scream stream. Yeah, I need a pillow to just like bury my face into right now. My mic is in the way, and that would just cause more issues. Like, Gabriel's entire objective is to get the miraculous of Ladybug and Cat Noir, but he said like every single episode, and he knows who they are now, so just do it already. Jessica, how's my granddaughter doing? Not good. I'm guessing this has to do with Amy. Well, okay, why would he guess that? Again, we know which part affected Amy the most, but in Strikeback, the episode, like the two-parter, there are so many more things that happen, and Marinette comes off far worse. So you would think that Jess would be calling about the mental well-being of her own mother versus Amy. How does he know what happened? Anyway, hi Grant, my friend hates you. Yeah, but how does he know though? Is this also an episode that's being aired live to the Agrest Mansion? Yeah, we were just watching Strike Back and we saw the renounce scene. Then we found out that you have all but Mum and Dad's miraculous. This is a very awkward conversation. I'm just imagining Gabriel thinking like, how do I react to this? What would Natalie do? Natalie, help me out! Cut to Natalie like dying on the corner. This whole scene is so whack. Yeah, you don't even know what I'm talking about. You're just watching me lose my mind slowly. Now Ali is worried that you might akumatize her due to missing her superhero side of her fair. Okay, I will say in this context, I can see why he would know that because, you know, if negative emotions bubble up, then, you know, Hawkmoth is able to detect that. I never quite figure out how that happens, but it has been known to happen, so, you know, can understand that. Yeah, can you please try not to do that? This is my best friend we're talking about. So what you're saying is that you would feel negatively if I were to do that. Well, fly, my little Akumas, and evil-eyes both of them. Anyway, I'm waiting for Hawkmoth to be an available character in Maya's thing. Don't worry, Jess. I know you're worried about your bestie. I won't akumatize her. Okay, he's worried about his wife, though. That kind of trumps that a little bit. I love the iconic dances. Ah. Okay, that's it. I don't normally do this, but I'm calling for backup. Okay, we'll see if that works. Help is on the way, dear. I hope so. I really hope it is. Okay, thanks, Grandpa. You're welcome. Love you. Love you too. Bye. So is he going to akumatize a little girl? You motif. Good. Now we just need to find a way to make Amy feel better. I was like turned to like a extended family drama of a superhero show. Anyway, We can make us some great clafoutis. Never heard of those before. Nina, that might make her think of Trix. You know, Trix likes grapes. Yeah, actually, Jonny himself mentioned that before in like another video. I think what in the stream before last, actually, the Emily stream. He mentioned that. So, which again proves to me that Jonny knows about like this small details of the MLB series a lot better than he's letting on in this episode, because he seems to be ignoring the vast majority of it. So what can we do? Maybe we can go out for dinner to favorite restaurants. KFC, not sponsored. Oh no, my camera's decided that it's had enough. Even my camera wants nothing to do with this. Okay, let's go tell her. Meanwhile, Jess, the other girls, and I will think of her own plans for cheering her up. Or we'll just finish the episode because, yeah, we haven't finished the episode of Strikeback yet. Continue to watch it, please. Why did Mum have to do that? And now Gabriel has all of the miraculous. This is a nightmare. Oh, we're on scene 2 now. I guess halfway through the video. Anyway. Hey, me, it's Mum and Dad. Can we talk to you? I thought knocking like at the door to like another living room. Fine, Mum. Come join me in the world's smallest couch relative to my body. Are you feeling better now, sweetie? It's been like a few seconds. No, she is not. Not really, Dad. Amy, I know it's hard to believe that me and your dad are no longer superheroes. I thought I was vicariously special. You don't understand. Anyway, however, it's okay. I had to tell Nino about being Rena Furtive, which was the name that she was given after she became the girl in the chair who was not actually in a chair, was actually top of a building. Jacob, invite me. I can be your wingman again. Okay. All right. Okay, where are you? Here you are. You're back. Hi, Treat Pop. You missed a lot. Yeah, you know Arlie and I tell each other everything. Which presumably doesn't include you, so how do you know the whole time? How about we go with some KFC? That might cheer you up. KFC? Yeah, and then we can go to Andre's ice cream shop. Okay, Andre's ice cream shop is actually a really good idea, although it is somewhat of a interesting one because Andre's ice cream shop, the entire gimmick is that well, it's partly like, you know, whichever like flavor he comes up with on the spot based on like your particular mood. but also supposedly it's mainly like a couples gimmick as well. So she might feel like a third wheel next to her own parents. I don't know if that's the best option, but maybe it is. I don't know. Andre is it's pretty good.
I'm
Hi,
gonna save you.
Thank you.
It'll be okay.
Angry. And this girl's becoming an angry Spanish person.
It'll be okay.
All right. Okay. 35 minutes later. That was amazing. ¿Pero qué está pasando aquí? ¡Muéstrame la escena, por favor! ¡Algo que no es en esta casa! Al menos elige un fondo de un restaurante. Un mísero restaurante. No te pido más.
His camera is breaking.
I no longer need it. For where I'm going, we need no cameras. Our mental states are palpable enough without visuals. We have transcended the need for cameras.
Oh my god. Take deep breaths, Jacob. It'll be okay. Where's KW when you need her?
I don't know. I DM'd KW specifically because she was here for episode 5, and I was like, "Let's bring her back, please." But no, that didn't work, and now my camera's camera's doing a thing again. It doesn't like anything.
It was the Spanish.
Oh. Okay. That was amazing. I sure love when I hear about stuff after it's already happened without seeing it myself. Anyway. Yeah, it was. Truly one of the unforgettable moments that you would, love to be present for.
I would love if there was like a Disco Pops episode where they have this adventure and they're like, let's go stop this villain. Cut. I'm so glad we did it. I think you did great. Treat Pop. I don't know what Pops there are, but whatever. I think you did great. Oh, do you remember that little fight, that little emo, that little angst happening? That was crazy. And then that big twist at the end. Oh, wouldn't want to miss that.
Yeah. I've told this story once before, but when I adapted Siren Story for the stage version, one thing that we were promised a way that we could actually show the sirens like with moving lights and such, even though I expressed doubts about this and think like, how are we supposed to do this with like this lighting rig? There's no way they'd be able to move enough. But the tutor responsible for overseeing like the festival or whatever said that would be fine. Then it came like more or less like further down the line, it came time to set that stuff up, and I was like, well, okay, what are we gonna do about this? Like, well, we don't know. It's like, well, what do you mean you don't know? We've been operating on the idea where there'd be moving lights and stuff here, so then we have to change it so a different character was who fortunately canonically was observing the events happening. Originally, she went to just observe through binoculars, like gasp for a moment, then rush away because, like you say, like finally, this is my moment, and then appear as a character later. But instead, I changed it so that she was kind of doing a bit of like a sports commentary situation. It was like, oh, and then this person, that person, and then, oh, you hit him with the my goodness. And then I made like a fourth wall joke. It's like, wow, I wish I had the time and money to put this on the stage. Oh, well. It's like, I'm not happy about this either, audience. Let's just get through it together. And that was the biggest laugh of the night. So it ultimately worked out. But that destroyed me on the inside to not represent something visually. In this case, it's like, I need to stop complaining when Aiden cuts corners because this is the alternative.
Yeah.
Anyway, hello, Monica. I don't know if you're the same Monica I'm thinking of, or if you're
Leave while you like still can.
Sorry?
Leave while you still can. It is too late for Jacob and I.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too late for you.
Why is it always when the episodes that like get to us the most are the ones when new members always show up? It's like, hi, welcome to Gacha Review.
Oh, this is a new member. This is a different Monica.
Great. Okay, it's a different Monica. Welcome to your
Hey,
first experience
run
with
away,
Gacha
Monica.
Review.
It's not safe here. Go watch one of those like lo-fi girl live streams or something. This is the one for you.
You know what? I could actually put some lo-fi on this stream. Let's see. All right, it's loading. There we go.
Update chat, he's never gone this far. He's never been this far gone. If we want to stop him from going any further, Treat Pop, it's best you don't say anything.
Okay, that's better. Let's keep going. Although you still seem like you're feeling sad about it.
What is with all these new people? Did you not hear me before? Run away!
Probably not.
This is not the
Probably
stream
not.
for you.
I think Hakuna Matata 4 just showed up.
This is not Hakuna Matata. We are beyond Hakuna Matata. There are many worries. Many. It got so bad. We got to a point where Jacob, like, for a split second, had angry Spanish person. Never been seen before. That's how insane this got.
Yep. Anyway, I'm fine, Mom.
At least one of us is.
Yeah. Honey, you don't sound like you're fine. It's okay to feel sad. You just got back from cheering her up at KFC, and you're now going to make her sad again by talking about it. Make her lane! Ah! Right. Okay, there we go.
He doesn't care about the mic quality anymore. Like, we're just past any sort of care.
Yep.
For the record, there was no feedback.
Okay. All right. We had an issue with Adri on call recently where he had like a headset microphone, but he had pointed it like directly under his nostril, so we heard every time he breathed out. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I was there for that. It's where he talked fine, but then every time he breathed, you could just hear like he was Darth Vader.
Yeah. This is madness. This is Paris. Anyway. I just can't believe that Reno and Carapace are gone. I mean, the physical people are right there, but whatever. They're not as cool.
I miss the costumes so much. They were so nicely designed.
Maybe if Alia's comfortable, she can explain why she had to announce tricks. She doesn't need to! She's watched the rest of the episode!
Better. She doesn't care about that.
Like, okay, presumably, you know, it would be a little bit strange to watch the season 4 finale of Miraculous Ladybug without, at the very least, watching the rest of season 4. If not the entire show, depending on time. So, Amy should probably already know why Alia had to renounce tricks or decided to renounce tricks rather, because it wasn't like a requirement. She made that choice. So she's seen the episode where she got discovered. She's seen how, like, you know, lying to Nino really hurt her, that hurt her on the inside. So she told him that was clearly a mistake because that's what gave her away in the end. And she decides that, you know, Marinette has risked enough on her behalf, and she should be making as many exceptions as she has with her. So she decides to step away. All of that was in season 4 alone. So she would have seen that unfold before this point. We don't need this exposition here. Right. But let's see what description Jonny comes up with. So why did you do it, Mom? Did you not want to be a superhero anymore?
We still haven't even gotten to the point where Alia's comfortable. Just saying.
Yeah, just kind of assumed she was okay. Of course I didn't want to give up my superpowers, Amy. However, Gabriel targeted me and our family. That was in a previous episode. I had to make an illusion to get him to think I would never be Rena again. Which, for the record, one of my favorite episodes because what the thing that I love the most about Max Ladybug as a whole is the fact that it relies on having to find creative solutions to problems. So the more like intensely packed something has to get, and the more things you need to, do, and like the higher the stakes are in those situations. If one thing goes wrong, you have to, adapt on the fly, especially without relying solely on the powers of the Lucky Charm, for example, which
I was about to say, isn't Lucky Charm an ex machina for each episode?
Kind of. The Lucky Charm becomes an object which then needs to be used in some way in order to solve the problem. But that's something that the user of Max Ladybug would have to figure out before going ahead. So it still relies a bit on the individual person.
I still wonder this from last time. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah. In this case, Ali didn't even have that because she wasn't even Ladybug. So yeah, again, one of my favorites for that reason. But anyway,
I still wonder from the last time I reviewed this with you is if Lucky Charm has a bias for like quote unquote for the goodwill. Because if Hawkmoth, the evil guy, I don't know if his name is Hawkmoth or not, but if he had the power of the Ladybug Miraculous and he used Lucky Charm, would the Lucky Charm make an object that would help Marinette, or would it help Hawkmoth?
Well, it's supposed to help whoever is using the Miraculous at that particular point. So, and actually, there is a movie TV special. I don't know what to call it. There's a something which is which is about like which about Shadybug and Claw Noir, which is two alternate dimension Ladybug and Cat Noir, where they are the villains rather than I think it was Betterfly was the version of Hawkmoth in that universe, and he was the one using the Akumas in that context to give people hero powers, which I will say is a very interesting idea for a spin-off. But they did one featurette, and in that one, Shadybug mostly used the Lucky Charm to become a series of weapons. Didn't really extend that far. Also because I think that Shadybug herself was not as creative because she hadn't allowed herself to be the same way that Marinette had, and that was part of the idea. So maybe it does come from the person's creativity too, and also like help that out. But yeah, so it does favor whoever is supposed to use it.
I remember the Unlucky Charm from last time, and she just whipped out a scythe.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I was trying to protect our family from getting involved. Hopefully you understand. I do understand, Mum. Yes, think about your family.
I hate my normal family.
I hate my two aunts that are physically toddlers but were born canonically before I was.
I hate this story. Oh, ow! Oh, I hated that. Oh, what was that?
Oh, that's the phone, I think.
Oh, that's I don't like that.
Hello? I gave myself the most old-timey ringtone in existence.
Seriously, why have that as your smartphone ringtone? You have the opportunity to change the sound it makes, and you literally default to it making the same sound it did in the 1990s, probably.
Maybe she was thinking like, old school journalists because that's what she's into, but I don't know. I think Jonny just found a random phone ringtone and that was the one he decided
There's
on.
no way Jonny searched up phone ringtone and a like home phone comes up in the YouTube section. I refuse to believe that.
Anyway, we'll never know. Actually, we might know because Johnny's probably going to watch this later, but for now, we won't know. Anyway, Marinette shows up. Hey, girl, is everything okay with Amy now? Wait, did
How did she
Marinette
know
know
about
what?
this?
Just what I say. Okay, maybe Jess told her. Maybe Jess
Okay, but
told her and said,
objection though. I would love if I like to picture Marinette is pressed up against the glass right behind the couch, and she's got her phone, like her nose is pressed up against the glass. Her girl, everything okay with Amy? Why do you sound like that? Turn around.
I mean, she is a stalker at times, so I guess. Then again,
Yeah.
I just remember that Alia lives in a block of flats, like 2 stories up. So maybe like as Ladybug, she's doing this
Yeah,
again, further pointing to the Spider-Man connection.
Yeah, she's sticking to the window.
Yeah. Not really, Marinette. She's still shook up about it. Oh, boo-hoo. Imagine how I feel. I lost all the miraculous. The Kwamis are in danger. What about me?
Boo-hoo, she has a normal family. Big whoop.
Oh. Why is it giving you madness? Oh, no, you're still watching this. There's your answer. It's giving us madness.
Jacob called for you. You didn't respond in his time of need, so I did.
I was like,
you should have
someone
seen
is
it. It was crazy. There was an angry Spanish person. I'm not even kidding. And then he like meditated to lo-fi. It was insane.
If someone would understand, someone understand the general plight that I going through right now, watching this unfold, it would be you.
All the more reason for a Scream stream.
Mm-hmm. You can for like a minute. Okay, I appreciate that. If you're busy, I understand, but you know,
I got this, KW. If you can, I got this.
I sent you the link already. It's Anyway, I see. Maybe Ladybug can swing by and talk to her if she wants to.
She doesn't want to hear from another superhero. That's just gonna make her more sad.
Maybe she does. Maybe the coolest actor will cheer her up. I'm sure she'll.
God, I hate this music. It used to be like general saxophone, and now they've added like a lo-fi aspect to it.
Yeah, well, back. I don't know why there was like a blank narrator thing. Well, Ladybug called and said she'll be over to her and talk to you, Amy. You know, we could just cut her after she showed up, but Jonny stays on like the parts that we shouldn't stay on and then cuts the parts that we probably would want to see more. If anything, you know what? This conversation could have taken place at the KFC.
Okay, but see, imagine if it's just like, okay, Ladybug is swinging over. Okay, cut. Oh, Ladybug made me feel so much better.
Yeah.
That was such an interesting conversation.
Cut to her like at the window. Bye, Ladybug. Thanks for stopping by.
Wow, that whole speech really motivated me. I feel
Truly
so much better. Now let's go
words.
get some more ice cream.
The wipe transition. Oh my gosh, the ice cream. Anyway, yes, and to answer this, KW, yeah, surprisingly, there is one thing this episode did worse than that episode, but most of that time, yes, that episode is worse. But on a continuity level, this is what's really getting me. And also the fact that Amy just seems like the most unlikable person ever at this point. I bet that's her right now. We just got off a call with her, but I guess she took 30 seconds.
Not even.
I know.
Like 10 seconds.
I know that Ladybug is fast, but actually, we never find out how far away Marionette and Alia live from each other, so maybe it's feasible that they're very close, but I don't. When we've seen the outside of where they live, it seems like vastly different areas of Paris. Beef cheese. Hello.
Yeah, KW.
Like
yeah, we don't talk about that.
Well, there's a question for you. You see, have you heard of the Energem from Power Rangers Dino something that makes it that when fused with the miraculous, they're able to stay physically at the same age as they were when they started, despite the fact that Nino is only a temporary user of the miraculous, so wouldn't be able to do that. And also, and that's why they look like themselves as the teens that haven't changed like clothes or styles or anything. Yeah, I've already talked about that at length, but yeah, that's the basic rundown. Anyway, hey Nino, Marinette informed me about Amy. I'll be honest, I'm surprised she came through the door and not through like the window. But also, that door is gigantic.
KW, we've already answered, okay? We do not have time.
I sent you a link. I sent you the link, so yes.
You sent the link ages ago.
I'm surprised she didn't like go through the window, because normally Ladybug shows up like at the window with people and talks to them on their balconies. But again,
that's
this
so
door
Spider-Man.
here.
Oh my god.
Yeah. See, here's the thing about some gacha backgrounds, is that since the gacha backgrounds themselves are from free pick, they're sourced, they're made by different people, and they're not like to one specific scale, which would be like, I don't know, with the ×1 scale of gacha characters in theory. That was never worked on, so this was just freely sampled images. Oh right, hold on. Maybe
wow.
wait.
Wow. My bad. I thought you sent it.
No, I thought I sent it too. Oh wait, no. It turns out that I just asked, and I got a response, but I didn't see it. I didn't want to assume, so I didn't actually send it. Here you go. Here's the link now. Okay.
I just went off the rails on KW. I'm so sorry. I thought you had it.
All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's my fault. You can see that I'm not operating at full capacity right now.
Yeah, Jacob's not okay today. You're gonna have to cut him some slack. A lot.
Yeah. So again, as far as like
slack on this video, that like he's out of line.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Yeah. So with the gacha backgrounds, this is again one of the advantages of camera angles. Incidentally, is that you're able to account for that, but also, scaling up and down the characters depending on whether or not the door makes them look like hobbits would also be ideal.
Seriously. No.
I'm
sorry. Neither of us are okay today.
I won't spoiler anything, but I am going to say that I have quite a few issues with this episode. One, it has to do with the character designs. I'm sorry, I get you're trying to keep it the same, like from the show,
but also why, There's no need.
Why? They're adults. Like, maybe have something that shows they have something from the show, but still be grown adults. Also, if they're supposed to be adults, why are they the same height as, like, the kids? Like, if they're
because have you heard of the Energem from Power Rangers Dino thing?
No, I avoided the show for a reason!
You avoid Power Rangers? That's news to me.
That's news to me as well. Again, I've not watched the Power Rangers, so
you still know the theme song more than the person who's watched it. Just saying.
No, what? No, he doesn't. Go Power Rangers!
Oh, not this again.
Go Power Rangers!
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to invoke it.
You awoken to an ancient nerve.
Anyways, I was just going to say that I don't watch the new Power Ranger stuff because it's trash. It's bad writing. I'm sorry. I do not like the new Power Ranger stuff. I stick to like the classics. Because they have the best stuff, man.
Things were better back in the day, man.
Exactly.
Man, times were wild.
Also,
It was there, man. Back when they first aired, man.
also the characters doesn't seem to be themselves. Every time I watch like the characters talk,
doesn't have to be Marinette. You heard it here. They don't have to be themselves.
Well,
no.
I think the idea is that they don't they seem less like themselves. I mean, sure, they've like aged considerably, but not only would that mean that the events of Strikeback would have played out differently as they were different people, but also
it's just
like it makes it feel there's even lesser reason for them to have like energem logic or whatever.
Like it gets, but a fair point, it gets worse. Like, wait till you see how worse it gets.
I'll do you one better. I'll watch some actual Miraculous either on TV if it's on, or I'll just open up Disney Plus again.
Speaking of Miraculous, don't forget Saturday.
Do you mean in Power Rangers, or in this episode it's going to get worse?
In this episode, it's going to get worse.
How can it get any worse?
You won't know. You won't know if Power Rangers will get worse, but
all I'm going to say, you meet a certain aggress who is bad writing.
Yeah, like I was thinking also, like because Jonny says that this is supposed to fix the issues of them being like like in the original being like 14 and pregnant or whatever, but
it doesn't.
Well, I mean, yeah, because we haven't retconned that because it hasn't been brought up. So how is this like fixing it if it's not even like if there's no other answer that's been provided so far? Anyway, we've still got 3 minutes until the end. Speaking of,
have fun with that.
Speaking of the aggressed family, I know that he's not an aggress, but I mentioned this previously. If it turns, oh, never mind, Kato was gone. Never mind, I've mentioned something already. I was gonna say,
you left. It must be bad.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the thing I said again about the fact that if Adrian was if the ring miraculous was keeping him the same age, that would mean that he would not look identical to Felix anymore, which is kind of like the whole point of the Aftermath of Strikeback relies on Felix looking exactly like his cousin, which he wouldn't be able to do if he hadn't been a miraculous holder previously.
Oh my god. It has not. You've taken her out for ice cream. You took time out of Ladybug's day where she could be stopping crime, and you engaged her to talk about it. She has not had a rough few hours. She has been spoiled rotten.
Yeah. Anyway, at least you're here now to help comfort her. She only responds to superheroes, and we are no longer that, so, get in there. Yeah, I hope that can make her feel better. Hey, Amy, Ladybug's here. Hi, Ladybug. Hey, Amy, I know it's been rough for you this last couple of hours.
The redundancy.
It has.
Oh, that's interesting eyes for that expression.
Yeah. If it makes you feel better. I said this before, didn't I? I'm still sad about losing all the miraculous.
What? You have normal parents.
Infinitely worse.
Always you. I have way more important things on my hands right now. And I have to be stuck here patting your sorry little back. Get over it. Grow up. You're almost as old as your parents probably are.
That's going to make for an awkward, late teenage years. Oh, wait, no, it won't, because now they don't have miraculous anymore, so they're going to age like normal people. Do you think that they're like still age at the same rate, or they're gonna like suddenly shoot up to whatever age they were supposed to be, and like suddenly like they become 20 years older immediately. I don't know. If it makes you feel... Sorry, I've been warning. I bet your best friend is worried about you now. Yeah, Jess and I always worry about each other.
In this moment where all I can think of is myself.
Yeah. At least Gabriel promised not to traumatize you. Did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's okay.
That's all she needed?
I guess that's okay. I would have rather been akumatized. I've got some pent out frustration I need to release on the world. It'll be okay, Amy. Maybe Gabriel will take care of Tricks and Wyatt. I doubt it, Dad. I say nothing on the matter. Well, maybe you and Jess can have a sleepover tonight. I'm sure that Jess's mother, whoever she may be, would be okay with that. It's like, Marinette, I know it's you. I've seen the episode. That's what started this whole thing. Like, oh yeah, why don't we agree to greenlight that TV show? We are bound by the rules of miraculous to keep identities secret.
Yeah,
but we,
like, this whole series just doxed you guys. And Hawkmoth. You know where his lair is because of this doxing. Why don't you go and get all your Kwamis
one
back?
used to live there, for crying out loud. Jess was just telling Marinette about it as a way to cheer up her best friend. Again, she's acting like Amy's not supposed to know who she is. A sleepover.
Oh my god.
Sure. At Gabriel's mansion.
Hey, look, you're within arm's reach of the kidnapped Kwamis.
Okay, I will say this looks nothing like the Agrest mansion, but I also accept that, you know, in the case of Gacha backgrounds, this one is probably one of the most approximate. The only actual mansion in the Gacha backgrounds, I think, is just legitimately like a Halloween haunted mansion, which figuratively really is what the Agrest mansion is, but not literally.
That would be kind of funny, though.
it would fit Hawkmoth a lot more.
Maybe in this massive, scary, spooky house behind us.
Yeah. Anyway. Hey, Amy, Grandpa's letting us stay at his mansion for the weekend. This is where you're having your sleepover! So she's sad about her mother renouncing Trix. But Gabriel has let her sleep in the same mansion where Trix is located.
and Jess knows that they're here.
Like they
she called him.
And she's seen the episodes, so she knows what happened between Felix and between Gabriel. Okay. So I'll be able to see Trix and Wise again?
Probably.
Okay, so that's the objective.
Yeah.
I love how like I love like the children are bound to like respect the family feud that's going on and not interfere, but also to step back and forth. It's like divorced parents or something. It's like, I'm not going to get involved in this custody battle. I'm just spending time with everyone.
So will I get 2 Christmases?
A Kwame's Christmas and a human's Christmas.
Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though he might use the miraculous for evil, might.
We're gonna work past that. It's okay.
As long as Trix and Wise are okay, that's all I ask. I wonder
Okay.
if Johnny's going to show what happened to them, because in season 5 we know what happened to Trix and Wise and all the other Kwamis. But I wonder if Johnny is going to A, have the technical skills to show that, or B, wants to demonstrate that, as it's just going to cut away. According to KW, we meet the aggressor in question, so that must be Gabriel. So yeah, let's get inside. Grandpa, Trix, and Wise are waiting for us. Hi, Grandpa!
Backwards
Hi,
hand.
Jessica. Hi, Amy. He is way more smiley than he normally is, but I can understand why. What are they? Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh, all right. Season 5 spoilers here. What Monarch normally does, KW has just lost it at this point.
Yeah.
What Monarch normally does at this, that we're with all of the Kwamis, is like locks them up in like small containers and like mixes down the like the miraculous into rings that he can use for himself, and whenever he calls on their powers, he will like activate them through like the transport of the conduit there. They spend all of season 5 locked away. He does not treat them properly in the slightest, and he certainly does not let them roam around freely, because he knows that if like the Kwamis aren't around, he can't do anything about that. So he kind of covered up his tracks there.
But now he just has them hanging around.
Hi, Milagro Reyes. We've got a lot of people with Spanish names. Definitely appreciate angry Spanish person from earlier.
You summoned them.
Yeah. Trix, Wise. Also, Gabriel happened to have those two Kwamis out specifically, or was like a deliberate thing that he decided, like, oh well, that was our parents'
His arm is stuck.
That was our parents' Kwame, so I'll throw a bone right now. That's me, good old amiable Gabriel Agrest, as I am known to be. Hi, KW, welcome back. Thank you for screaming on my behalf.
I was about to say, scream stream. It happened sooner than I thought it would.
This is the part that I was like, oh, heck, no. This is my PG way of saying, oh, heck no, by the way, because, this...
heck no, Trix and Wise have gotta go.
Homecoming's gotta go.
First of all, look, Gabriel maybe he has changed, but at the same time, though, he's still akumatized people. That doesn't make sense. Why is he like, oh yeah, I will akkumatize your friend? Like, what am I gonna do? Yeah, I stole your family's like miraculous and stuff like that. Like, I stole one to get my greatest revenge. But since you have a friend and stuff like that, I will akkumatize her. No. I totally never did that. I never did that. Like what happened with my son or anything like that. No. Why would I do that? Like.
Yeah, I would akumatize my son in an alternate timeline, but I would not akumatize my granddaughter's best friend. It's those degrees of separation that really make the difference here. And also the fact that, bear in mind, just to remind people, we're watching an episode of The Disco Pops. Amy and Jess are superheroes in their own right. And they don't think to do anything about Gabriel. They're just like, nah, we'll let this play out. Season 5 has to happen.
I'm taking take care of Trix and Ways. Yes, I am. It's not like you were in cages or anything like that, and I'm giving him poor animal food every time I use him and fail miserably. Like, yeah.
Ways. Okay, I didn't. Yeah, in Spanish they say wise. I didn't actually know. I was watching Strikeback in English to remind myself of what happened. I actually actively went out my way to watch an English version of the episode, and clearly that was a mistake. Clearly I did not need to go that far. Anyway, hey, Mom told me what happened. I can't read what. Don't worry, Amy. Waze and I are unharmed. Honestly, you know what would be a good twist at this point? I would take back like not everything I said. I would take back 10% of what I said if it turned out
10%.
that this Gabriel, this Trix, and this Ways were just an illusion formed by Monarch using Trix's power from a different room. If that ended up being the twist, then you know what? That would actually be genuinely like fitting. But I don't know. We've got like a minute left, so I'm not sure they're gonna fit that in.
Amy's just like, I don't care about you being unharmed. Why'd you leave my mom?
Yeah, my mum renounced you, so I'm still sad. Anyway,
I was under the impression that Gabriel kidnapped you.
You would be correct, mostly because that's what happened.
What? Oh my god.
This is worse. Also, Gabriel didn't want Marinette and Adrian get together during season 5? That's the latest season.
That boat has sailed right now. Their child is standing right behind him.
Right? And so why does he care about his granddaughter? Like, I just don't get it. I really don't. Jonny, I'm trying to say this is better, but continuity-wise, it's not. I'm sorry. I'm trying. That's why I didn't leave any comments or anything like watching this, because I'm like, no, I'm not going to be too harsh, but I feel like I need to be harsh about this.
It's either the characters are butchered, like in the original version, or the world building is, like in this one.
Our kidnapper is taking such good care of us.
All right. Sorry. Yeah, I am worried about you two. We've known each other since I was a little baby. Because remember, season 4 was years after season 1, even though everyone looks the same and still goes to the same school.
It's like Despicable Me, where just no one ages.
And also, I will say this again.
Literally.
If you've noticed that you're a little baby, and you also say that this episode, in the description, Jonny says this took place weeks after Strikeback, did Amy not notice that Trix was gone for several weeks?
Their post team is really, really good. Like, they only need like half a day to finish editing.
I feel like I just need to make my own AU story now on Gacha Club like this or whatever, and show how you can make sure it's in the continuity without like messing up the lore or anything like that.
Hey man, DM Maya 2.0.
Yeah, what Maya 2.0 is also taking a few like liberties with this one, but not with like the actual trying to slot this into like the actual continuity of the show or trying to warp it that way. It's more so, what if like everything was different from the start? And that to me is a better way of warping an AU than this is, trying to like keep as much of it as possible, but also pull as many strings as possible, only to facilitate Amy being sad about a particular moment that the creator was clearly also distressed about for entirely different reasons.
I love the pop stances so much. Like, they are so iconic.
I mean, even Gabriel's doing it. I mean, he's a fashion designer, so he's trying to get on the trend.
Expression just right down to the way they're standing. The first live stream I ever saw with a Jacob Butter review was, I think, was a Disco Pops or a Jazz Pops.
I thought it was Secrets of the Plex episode 5.
No. Oh, you keep.
Oh wait, no, that's right, because
you
started first, and then I checked out. Yeah, that was right.
But yeah, it was a Jazz Pops, I think, and they were doing the exact thing.
I'm now just picturing, how like Adrian had like incessant photo shoots at times, and he would always be like there, like striking like different poses or something, always like smiling away or whatever. Imagine if all his photos were just this pose, just him standing there.
Oh my god. Like all the photos on the wall, just him, his family, all his friends, they're all just standing like that with vacant expressions.
I'm now imagining like, Marinette's stalker wall where she's just looking around. It's like, that was Asian last week. That was last month. That was last year. Tiki just looks on like, no, they're all the same photo. No, they're not. You see his hair's out of place in that one.
You wouldn't even know because they don't age.
Well, I mean, their hair presumably moves. I don't know. I know that you've been through a lot lately, but like Trix and Wei said, I'm taking care of them.
Yeah, I know, you're not!
If there's one thing that you can trust me, fashion designer Gabriel Agreste with, it's taking care of people.
Get your hand off me, old man. Now, when he just sanitized his hand.
Yeah. I suppose he also would not age as much because, he also has like an Energem Miraculous, I suppose. Technically, he has two at this point.
Energem Miraculous? What Energem? That doesn't even exist!
I told you, that's the excuse for why the characters don't age physically. Because the Energem
it's not even like a headcanon, it is like confirmed.
If I can find the quote. If I can find the quote in here.
Seriously,
So,
I would prefer
okay.
if
I decided to
Jonny
combine
would
the
just,
powers.
FU logic and just has them not age.
I have decided to. I actually wouldn't prefer that because then we'd just be asking why is it they're not aging like we did before. Anyway, I've decided to combine the powers of Miraculous with the powers of the Energems from Power Rangers Dino Charge / Supercharge. Specifically, the power to stay a certain age as long as you're bonded with the Energem. So I know this might be weird to say, but
Even
I might
he
have
knew.
aged so enough to be able to have kids without the sins of being pregnant as if they were teenagers.
Even he knew. As he was writing it, he's like, this is weird. He could like almost sense the reaction that he would get. He could hear the sounds of Jacob torture.
Yeah, like I at first was asking why they need to look the same at all in this. But now I understand the reason is because we needed an excuse for Strikeback to be said after the children were born. Which I again insist could not happen because even if Adrian doesn't age, Felix would. That undoes everything.
I just couldn't during this last 3 minutes.
Yeah. And if you ever have that feeling of missing them, you can always come to me.
Is this the same guy that threatened Alia with targeting her family if she didn't hand over the
Yes!
Literally, yes.
The Kwame.
He's
And
able
now
to
he's
threaten
like, "Oh,
Alia's
don't worry,
family,
no,
but
they're
he's also
mine.
welcoming
Whatever you
Alia's
want."
family into his mansion. Yes, that is entirely correct.
He's just like, oh, that's nice. Can I just take one back home with me? Maybe like a library, just kind of check it out for a while, and then bring it back later.
He's like, of course, I have an alliance ring. You know, you'll see what it's for later.
Who are all these new people? What are you doing here? Why was this stream in your recommended?
YouTube likes my pain. Am I going to talk to myself now? We'll respond to you. Don't worry. Yeah, Grandpa's letting us visit Trix and Ways whenever we want to. I mean, yes, she knows that. He just said that.
Yay.
Like a second ago. Why do we need to keep repeating that for us?
I know you're not new, Treat Pup. It's not a news flash for me.
We didn't know if you were still
If you
here.
haven't noticed, like 5 new people I have never seen before have joined this stream.
Mm-hmm.
You know I'm not talking about you.
I don't know why. Tell me.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
No! Bud! No! Just no! No! Because you know why I'm saying no to you, Bud? Okay.
Tell
My
me
mom
why are
ruined this
both
song
the
for me.
Kwame set free?
Do you know how she ruined the song
Tell
for
me
me?
why I can't take my Kwame home. I
Because
never wanna be alone.
I'm in Monarch's home. I ask no questions. Right. Even if I akumatize someone.
That's assuming you're okay with, like, she's okay with him akumatizing.
Yeah, the next season, by the way, he uses the Kwame's powers to boost people when they're akumatized. So that doesn't even make sense anyway.
So even while you're taking control of someone, I can still visit.
Assuming I'm not using one of them to do so, because they wouldn't be around.
Like he's just there in his hideout, and then all of a sudden, he's cornering Ladybug, and then Amy's just like, "Oh hey, Monarch, what you doing?" He's like, Amy, this isn't a good time. Crush her.
He appears like Isabella from Phineas and Ferb.
Dear, do you want to see your little fox friend? Crush her.
Wow.
No, Snowball, we are
Meanwhile, Ladybug and Catnor are like, wait, did the cinema just like pause? Lady, what's going on?
They can like hear Amy through the intercom. Amy, it's us! Amy, tell him to stop! Amy, can you hear us? Oh, did you hear something? Oh, it was just the wind. Don't you want to see your little tricks friend?
Yeah, it's just
Are y'all reacting?
through an intercom. It's like,
no, stop! I'm not reacting. I'm trying to fight this giant monster over here. Totally not reacting to this. Like this is not a video.
Come
actually,
on,
we're in a simulation.
Break, KW.
We're in
I've
a
never seen them
simulation.
before. How are they to know? Anyways,
we're in the
we're not reacting. We're suffering. We are suffering more than we have in a while.
We're on Help Wanted 3. This is the new game, Help Wanted 3. If you didn't know.
KW, cut them some slack. They just got here.
Tricks and ways are new animatronics. These characters are actually human animatronics, so Matt Pep is right. I should have known better. It's
I know this is live. So do we. We know it's live as well.
Yeah, well, good for you. Good for you. This is a live simulation. Congratulations.
Sorry, I had to hit them with the sarcasm there. I had reason to believe, honestly. Anyways, Treat Pop, go ahead and give me your question. Gabriel, okay?
Right, well, okay, so...
We're spoiling!
I will always be here in order to like let you see them. Don't worry, as long as I'm around, nothing will happen. He just falls over. Season 5 doesn't happen.
You can visit me and all your Kwame friends whenever you want. Gabriel's funeral coming soon.
What? So 3 wants you to do a cover of Addiction?
Yes, that's the request. That was the question for Bond from earlier. Can you please do a cover of Addiction? I'm pretty sure Bond doesn't take requests, but
yeah, I told you this specifically, Treat Pop. Like, you asked me about this earlier, and I gave you a direct response.
What did you tell them?
They asked me, yeah, that's nice, Treat Pop, but again, I don't want it to be a situation where if I do this for you, then someone else will ask me and all this stuff. Like, I don't want it to be a whole thing, and also I'm not really interested in covering Addiction. Besides, I have other things to do right now, but even so.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, Treat Pop, I feel like you would probably be good at doing a cover of Addiction, actually.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, at least they're not going to say, oh yeah, I'm totally covering this song, when really you just put a video up there that's just like lyrics and stuff like that. And it's
okay,
like a false advertising.
Okay, what KW is referencing is that Maddie has started a new channel. I know.
Oh my god.
8 now.
We were so close to the end without bringing her up once!
Yeah, but yeah, so she started a new channel, and that one is supposedly for only covers, but as of me checking a few days ago, there weren't any actual covers there. There were lyric versions of other videos, of other songs that already existed. So including like the Eli version of Cast Out, actually.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just same thing with the Waking Web too. I noticed that too. It's like, just why? This isn't why.
No treat. There's so much happening in chat. First of all, Snowball is making it very audible about what they how they feel about this stream.
Oh, I'm so bored because these people don't know how to react. Oh.
Second of all, Treat Pop, you weren't just asking. You asked this earlier, and I already gave you the same answer. So I suggest that you expect the same answer for the time being, unless I say otherwise. And third of all, no, Treat Pop, we don't want you to do a cover of Addiction. We're just recommending that as an alternative rather than me covering it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Treepod just wanted to
asking
get
you to.
different answers, or just get short-term memory loss or something like that. You know, I'm just saying, because there are times where she's asking the same question over and over again, and I'm just
That's
like,
ironic coming from you.
I mean, we know what Einstein said about repeating the same task and expecting a different outcome.
okay, if you're talking about today, where I asked you. First of all, I didn't hear you because you were quiet for me because I forgot to turn my volume up. And second of all, there is no link. So how am I supposed to know that you are answering saying there is a link when I'm like, there is no link?
I wasn't talking about you in this situation. I was referring to Treat Pop.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, I will take the fall on this particular stream. Again, I was not operating on capacity at all. So yeah. Anything else, but okay, so Gabriel's funeral.
The forespoiling.
It's like, what was the point of saying this after season 4 if we're just gonna skip ahead until after he's dead?
Can someone explain to me the climax of this episode, the whole point of it?
Climax?
Sorry. That story is to have a climax in this. That would be way too advanced for this. Does anyone know the purpose of this episode? What are we taking away?
I really think that it was that Jonny was heartbroken by this particular thing because, again, he loves Rena Rouge. We know this from his previous name. So the idea that she had to renounce who she was, that was probably, what he considered to be the most tragic thing. So he thought, well, naturally, her own daughter, was she alive at the time, would feel the same way. And yet, despite that, decided oh yeah, I'm just going to present this in the most unlikable way possible for Amy. We know that Amy has been sensitive in the past. I mean, we've had Jonny roleplays Amy in chat a number of times, but it always seemed to come from a place of genuine insecurity or something that was beyond her control that happened within her lifetime that seemed to affect her directly rather than oh no, my parents aren't as cool anymore. Guess what? They're alive and healthy. The Strikeback episode destroyed a bunch of things. Paris was literally on fire. The fact they survived at all was okay. I mean, we don't know if the miraculous ladybug can fix broken bones or circulatory systems. We don't need to find that out because it didn't happen.
That never happens in the show. Yep.
I mean, it probably can, but we're not ever going to know because, kids show, so it's not they're going to show that. But
no, they just bounce around on the floor and stuff like that when they fall off buildings or whatever, or they're almost close
I know
to
what
death.
they do. I know what they do. They're just Ladybug comes over, he's let's see if I can fix this. Cut. I did it! Just the old cut.
Yeah.
It's the simplest form of cutting corners.
That's what the miraculous ladybug would be. It's not magical healing ladybugs that go around and engulf things in the city. It's just a jump cut.
Hey,
that was a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Said the animators never.
I probably Jonny doesn't actually need to leave this episode because it's not as bad as the last one. But I wouldn't be surprised that since we're being harsh on him, he would. But Jonny.
You know what's kind of interesting to me? I've been saving this until the end, but it hit me halfway through. Hawkmoth's objective throughout, the entire show.
What, not existent?
At this point. So, what?
Not existent? Yeah, we're all on the same page.
No, well, okay, no. So, yeah, so his objective throughout the entire show was to, combine the miraculous of Ladybug and Cat Noir, because if you do that, you have a wish that will be able to alter reality. You don't, and of course, the reason that couldn't be is because, well, first of all, they didn't, the good guys didn't know his intentions or anything, so it could have been for whatever reason. And also, if it was like a noble wish, there would always be something that would come at a cost, and the world afterwards would be unrecognizable to like anyone who knew it before. This kind of feels like that world. It is unrecognizable to something that came before it.
The alternate reality where the wish was made. The big twist is that Adrian's mom is on a business trip somewhere and we just never see her. Could you imagine? We cut to Gabriel's funeral and she's just there.
What are you doing?
The biggest twist we never saw coming.
And then she becomes more bring him back, and then like the cycle repeats itself.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Then she turns. Oh my god, it would be so good. Then she becomes the Hawk Moth. It works, I'm telling you. We don't know why Gabriel died, but the cycle continues anyway.
Yeah. The reality that got changed was the fact that who used the Peacock Miraculous versus who used the Butterfly one, and so there was the other person that died, and that was the entire change. That is Monkey's Paw at its finest right there.
Seriously.
But,
you got what you wanted, but at what cost?
Exactly. But yeah, so in this case we have it seemed like Jonny promised. I think I said it was an origin story, so I thought Jonny promised that this is going to fix the idea of them being stuff I introduced in episode 5. But that wasn't even ever addressed. In theory, they could have been, like in their 30s, visibly in universe, but still dressed like they did when they were teenagers. Okay, which is a bit weird because being married into fashion, but whatever.
I just do not here's the thing. If they were elves or something like that, then it would make sense that they don't basically age. Okay? We all know the elves
we can never take Zelda out of you, can we? Or Baldur's Gate 3.
They're not elves in Zelda, though.
Oh, I don't understand.
They're Hyruleans, and they're technically elves.
Oh, here we go again about the Hyrulons.
And also... Bon, you're so glad I haven't found your house yet to go and punch you? Just saying.
You would not survive Quebec.
Nope! But I can at least try!
KW used Ice Punch.
And also, Bon! Bon! Have you forgotten?
Ice Punch is ineffective in the coldest country.
Bon, have you also forgotten there is such thing as Lord of the Rings, who also say that elves do not age physically.
It's become the de facto canon of a lot of elf lore, except mine.
Exactly. That's a board game thing has nothing to do with me. Would say, oh, if they were elves, then I can understand why they age physically.
There's always the option that they're vampires.
I mean, they went out in sunlight, so I don't know.
Yeah, just oh man, yeah, you're right.
Well, unless they're no, actually, never mind. I'm going not to say about what I was going to say because
you were going to mention the Twilight vampires, weren't you?
Yeah. Yes.
Sparkly. Yeah, everyone goes around sparkling. Exactly.
But as I was trying to say,
it really feeds into Gabriel's whole fashion thing.
Oh my god! God! Stop messing with my head! Stop!
See, isn't it kind of weird how Bon is more accurately portraying what characters would do in these situations than somebody who's watched the show multiple times.
Feed KW's insanity.
I feel like vomiting.
To me than what we've just watched right now. That was more in character with Gabriel. Of course, he'd do a whole fashion line based on the idea of people sparkling, to try and complement that or something. Yeah. If anything, he could probably dress Audrey Bourgeois up in golden sparkles, which he basically was wearing in general to begin with. Make perfect sense. Just give her a big old sparkly hat too.
Oh my god! Why?
You can see how that would work. That would work.
I know. That's why I'm just
You brought up Twilight, not us.
No, I totally said I'm actually going to take that back. I'm not going to mention this.
Yeah, but we all knew where your head was at. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Now I'm just imagining the I know what you are. Say it, but with Marinette and Adrian. It's like a vampire.
As if you could outrun me.
I was gonna say I'm Cat Noir. What do you mean I'm a vampire?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh no!
As if you could outpun me.
I can literally see Cat Noir being a vampire now. Thanks a lot, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Except with Cat Noir, it's literally just as if you could outpun me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just literally black and red too. It's not because he has
Now that I'm a vampire, my puns are gonna drive you batty.
Wow. Oh, Jacob, you're sucking the life out of me.
That's the response from Ladybug.
You suck, man.
And that's what the villain says.
The ultimate comeback.
That's why the Twilight spoof is called Vampires Suck. And that's an actual real movie, by the way.
I feel like I'm back watching Mad Max 2 where I completely blacked out of everything that's happened in that movie.
Just wait until you go back and watch the VOD of Jacob. It was scary.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, depending if we find other films to watch while we're here, I might be watching Furiosa soon, so that might be more relevant to me. Anyway, okay, so to wrap up this actual video, so the stakes seemed to be non-existent. It was the kind of origin that was promised was also non-existent. It entirely hinged off of an idea that somebody would be affected by this program that supposedly, and we had to move that along so it would be directly affecting a person's life, even though every single change that was applied in this just raised further and further questions than answers. I understand that with a lot of people especially with fandom content, you want to try to adapt something because you think okay, well, what if this happened this way? But the thing is, if the question is, if the answer to that question, what if this happened this way, is all chaos breaks loose, you might want to reconsider your premise. And if you have several inputs that all cause different levels of chaos, then you think okay, this might need a second draft, potentially also a third.
Unless you're writing parody pops in which let the chaos ensue. Yeah, well, it really does depend on how that would go to be. In my vision of parody pops, they would follow a similar formula, but it would end up being more absurd within that contained structure. But you never know. I've had this video on the shelf, but I didn't want to make it because I feel like it would be stealing your idea. Have you ever seen those gacha videos where it's if I were in this, if I were in FNAF or if I were in Undertale, yes. Those ones? I've always wanted to do if I was in a pop group, and then it would just be ripping off all the ideas. If the character that is in it is totally aware and asking all the right questions, but I feel like that would be taking away your idea of just questioning all the logics of the gacha pop universe. Oh well, it wouldn't just be like that. It's my idea for parody pops was that would be this particular the group of music themed villains are trying to destroy the idea of
the idea of like adapted music in the first place, and somehow also using that to take over the world at the same time. And so so like we need like a group that would actually be able to use like the art of the parody in order to actually set them back. That was that was the idea behind that. I was also going to name the group. I was going to name the group something that would be like that, like they have the acronym UMG as well.
I thought Parody Pops was going to be like a series if all the logistics of the Gacha Pops franchise would just be made fun of.
I mean, it would also be part of that, and also want to introduce like the villain that has like that is like like intimidating mob boss, but also very good dad of like a 5-year-old, and that contrast as well. That was so other like additional jokes on top of things. So yeah, but it wouldn't just be calling out like everything, because we've seen how that works for Adult Swim, and it's not always a good idea to keep that up consistently without something else. But yeah, this episode definitely needed something else, a revision, a different premise. Again, if it was the case that we didn't go down the origin story route, but the idea of Alia having to deal with this would actually also kind of match up. If anything, maybe that would have been a good chance to use Amy and Jess to try and cheer her up in some way, or potentially potentially also having to use their powers while doing so, which would have had like a a knock-on effect on her mental health, because like, well, you had to use her powers to do this. So it's like, you're the superheroes now or something. But then I have no idea. And again, that would have, in my version, it would have been like, oh, this was back in the day, this was actually 20 years ago, and this is something I had to actually deal with. Potentially, that would be a good chance to like have a reunion with Trix if that hadn't happened already. I don't particularly know, because I'm pretty sure we've seen Rena Rouge in like other versions of Disco Pop, like the original series, or if anything, maybe even in the revival. I think they appeared in a previous episode, and that's why we had the summer party in the first place. So, oh great, now I have to go back and watch Disco Pops and see if this episode is even consistent with the very series that Johnny's working on. Oh my goodness.
So, pros and cons?
That was my pros and cons. That mini rant there was meant to be my pros and cons. I don't know what else to say.
Pros ? They
were pros. They were allegedly not teen parents, but we didn't even have confirmation of that.
The pros, they were allegedly not teen parents.
I can't even say with 100% certainty because we didn't see it in the episode. It's just the description that's like, oh, by the way, this didn't happen. It's like, well great, but like, I haven't replaced it with anything yet.
The only good thing that came out of the episode was the description itself, not the episode.
Even the description, that raised so many questions. I spent like 10 minutes going over the description alone before we started this.
Oh my god.
It's like with every passing word, I was like, this is going to be a travesty.
Worse with every single time someone said something.
Much like Amy's likability as a character. Every time she opened her mouth to speak, it was like, please just stop talking. You are digging yourself into a hole right now. God, imagine like, and that's going to make Nina and Alia feel worse on the inside as well. It's like they've let their own daughter down by losing their rank. It wasn't even their fault to begin with.
Seriously, she should just get mad at her kid. Yes, how dare
Why she not mad at Ladybug as well? She didn't get to the scene before, but okay. Yeah.
How dare you get mad at me for protecting my family from being in danger? How selfish of me. Like, I would not stand for that. And my cool, normal mother would not stand for that either.
I'm gonna probably end up watching Strikeback again just to see all of the ways in which the premise would like destroy itself if the characters were actually adults, because I didn't have enough time to go through all of it before I started setting this up, and I was like, okay, it is a two-parter as well. It's like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. I might have like a lengthy pin comment on the bottom of this at some point, but I might not. It depends. I said I was going to do something after this episode, wasn't? Oh yeah, it was to request
right.
something. It was to request something with Maya 2.0. Just to do with Horde
really?
Moth. I've forgotten it now. Great. Okay, I'm just gonna go and get some dessert and cope for a bit. Right. Whatever. I'll think of something. For now, yeah, please either like or dislike because your opinion matters. Skype done so already. And on that note, until next time, bug out or